Welcome to another workout here with Ability 360 and Move United. If you have any questions during the workout, please feel free to type them in. Anything that we come up with that doesn't seem to fit how you're going to move is okay, and we'll make adjustments for it. So we're going to do our best to make everything possible to do in a chair. All right, so that should be the standard here. So everything you're going to do, we can do while seated. So Sadie here is going to be doing a lot of the standard form of the exercise in the chair. And then I'll start breaking it down, especially if you have a question, I'll be able to take some time apart while she's still doing the exercise. So this should go pretty well today. And if anyone has any questions before we get started, please feel free to type them in. But for now, I'm going to break down what we're doing today. We are doing circuit training, and an easy way to think of what circuit training is it's a way of exercising in either in stations or just going from one exercise to the next without taking breaks. So if you have less downtime, that's the idea. And it's okay to do that in this type of exercise because you typically will move from one body part to another, a significantly different body part. So say we'll go from arms to legs throughout the progression so that your arms do get rest. We're not just doing 8 exercises for the arms and completely wasting you by the end of it. Your arms get a long rest even though they're getting exercise in between or consistently throughout it. So for example, we're going to start with arms. We'll go through a couple exercises that will move us down to our torso, through our core, into our legs. All right, so while we're doing that, the arms get a rest and we can go right back through. The whole workout is going to be 8 minutes at a time. Okay, the first round is going to be a little bit easier and we'll get a little bit harder and we'll keep speeding things up until we're done. So remember to get water and rest when you need it. You do not have to make it through a whole round of this. You don't have to be blasting yourself and get completely tired in order to do this well. You just have to be able to keep moving as often as you can. That's all I care about here. So to warm up, we don't have any questions or anything. I don't think we have anything in the chat there. We're going to do some posture and breath. Something, if you were in my call last week or if you were on the online last week, then please follow me through this. This is a really good way of just getting you warmed up for anything. So our YWTLs, Sadie, I don't think you've done these. I don't think you saw my call last week. So YWTLs, it's just exactly what it sounds like. This comes from when I used to work for a physical therapist. We're going to take our hands up, make a Y shape, and I'll actually face the other way so you can see my shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades back together. So once we got our hands overhead, we're trying to activate every muscle behind or between your shoulder blades. Keep them tight and roll down a little bit lower to a W shape. This is a Y, W. And again, you're still trying to warm up those muscles. So you're just squeezing those shoulder blades together. Reach out to a T shape. So palms are up and you should be able to drive them back a little further now. So at this point, really reach back, feel all the muscles around your spine firing, and then pull out to an L shape so your arms come to your sides. Perfect. There you go, Sadie. Without any instructions, she nailed it. And drive your shoulders down here. You should feel tension below your shoulder blades close to your spine. And then shake it out, and we'll go through one more round of those all the way from the side this time, just in case you guys need to see that again. So right here, arms up, as high as you can get them. It doesn't matter if you can't get them really close together. I don't care about that. What I care about is what your shoulders are doing. Pinch your shoulders together now. Keep them close to your spine. And then bring it down to a W shape, so your elbows go a little below your shoulders. And again, you're still pulling those together. A lot of people do this and they feel like they can stand up taller or sit up taller afterwards. Reach out to a T. Palms are up. Push those hands backwards for me. See if you can feel the muscles between your shoulder blades. Get a sense of where they're at. And then reach down to an L. And you're pushing your elbows down. So you're trying to get your elbows lower. We're working on our lower traps, which are muscles that don't normally get activated throughout the day. And then relax. All right. So next one, we'll do some breathing together. I'll take you through my breathing sequence. There's a lot of different ones out there. We're just going over the basic principles of breathing. So we're going to try to get air down to the bottom of our lungs. So if you put your hand kind of at the base of your rib cage or your navel right here, that's where you want to feel the air coming into. So if your hand is down here, you can also add a hand right up here, right by your clavicle. You want to feel a progression of movement from your bottom hand to your top hand. So go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths in. See if you can get your bottom hand to move before your top hand. Once it hits the top, you just let it out. Last week I used the example of like imagining you're pouring water into a vase. So bottom of the vase is the bottom of your lungs. Let the air be the water and let it fill the vase up and let it spill over. One more. Okay. All right. Let's do a little bit of stretching here. This will take a little bit of time, but let's make it feel like we can move a lot easier throughout the rest of the workout. So first ones will start pretty easily. If you've experienced pain in any of these positions, then we may need to scale it back or reduce the amount of tension you're stretching with. So first one, we're just gonna take one arm across the body, see if you can get the other arm on the back of that, and you're just gonna pull it to you. So kind of hugging one arm to your chest. Depending on what posture you're in throughout the day, you might feel certain muscles pulling more than others. And just kind of sit there into it. Normally, we're going to hold every stretch for about 30 seconds. There's a very specific scientific reason for that. But essentially, you can just remember that the muscle, tension in the muscle will be released at a physiological level. So more than what you're feeling in your head, that discomfort, the muscle itself will actually just fully relax or start to fully relax after about 30 seconds. All right, and then we'll switch hands or switch arms. So bring it across. Okay, you don't need to grab anything. You don't need to clasp. You can just bring one arm across the other and pull it close to you. And I feel this more on this side. I actually get more of a stretch on one shoulder. That's normal. Pretty much everyone's asymmetrical to some degree. And just sit there, breathe into it, and try to relax it. If you notice over the course of the 30 seconds that it gets easier, that's probably just the muscle relaxing. All right, let's try to get one behind the head. So next one, bring your elbow high. If you can touch the back of your neck, that's ideal. Even if you can just barely get it up there. Now, either you can push up to assist in that motion, so you get a stretch right down here. We get a stretch through our triceps and our lats. It's kind of an interesting position we're in. If you can get overhead and grab the top of that elbow, like Sadie's doing here, that's the more advanced or more flexible progression for it. So try to reach down your spine. You're trying to get the middle finger of your hand that's on the back to go further down your spine. Sadie wants to be an OT, so she'll get used to doing this. It's called Apley's test. And then other arm. Let's try the same thing. So again, you're taking your hand, try to touch the back of your neck. If you can find one of the vertebrae, that's perfect. And you're just going to look for the next one below it, the next one below it. You're going to keep pushing lower and lower and seeing how many vertebrae you can feel. That will give you a really good stretch. You can also test yourself for certain rotator cuff pathologies this way. So again, I'm reaching right here. Keep going a little higher if you need. Couple more seconds. Again, try to relax into it. May not be the most comfortable position to be in, but we're only there for about 30 seconds. You know, I'm not timing this ideally, just trying to get a feel for it. And then relax into it. All right. So let's move our torsos now. So let's do a little bit of spine stretching. We're just going to twist. All right. So if you're in a chair, this is ideal. You want to be in a chair for this. Just make sure you're sitting up straight. If you need to inch yourself forward, that's totally fine. This is a good position to be in because now you'll be able to turn further. So try to take one arm to the opposite knee just to start, and you can take it further as you go, and then take the other arm either behind the chair or somewhere on the chair and just twist as far over as you can, but don't do it all with your neck. Try to turn your chest. Try to take that back or that shoulder that's in front and bring that shoulder further and further over. So right now you should be getting a good amount of rotation in your spine. If you feel that position continuing to increase, you can probably go a little bit further. If you feel like you hit a limit, just hold it there. We're trying to rotate the spine as much as possible. Now, some people have spinal fusions and you're going to be limited on that. That's okay. You can still rotate up to a certain extent. All right, then other side, same thing. So take that hand across the opposite knee, hand on the chair or behind it, wherever you can brace with. Try to stay upright. So you're trying to keep your spine erect as you rotate. And again, don't turn all with your head. Try to move whichever shoulder is in front and rotate from there. You can go a little further as you relax. That's good. All right, and then from there, bring it back to the center. One more for the spine. Cross your arms or put them on your shoulders. There's a couple of different ways to do this. And lift up until you feel like your forearms might be coming towards your chin. If you're limited there, if you get stuck right here, you can keep going, but what we're trying to do is tip our rib cage backwards while keeping our lumbar spine vertical. So I'll go to the side, and you can lift and keep looking at the ceiling, but your low back shouldn't be curved or falling backwards. It should still be right there. You should feel like you're extending that spine way, way more than normal. We don't sit like this for a good reason. Just keep breathing. Now, if you start to feel dizzy here, bring your head down. You can look forward and still get this stretch. A couple more seconds. If you want, you can twist a little bit with this one. You can reach one arm higher than the other. Just get a little bit of extra movement. And then bring it down. All right, let's move the legs a little bit. Last one, or last two, I should say. If you got the ability to do it right now, bring one leg up across the other. And we're just gonna move we're gonna move your hip joint, essentially. So we're gonna start your leg here. Keep your shin in place. So for me, it's my left foot right now on top of my right leg. I'm gonna hold it there. I'm gonna grab the top of my left knee, and I'm gonna pull it towards me. You can position your hand wherever it feels good. And I get a little bit of a stretch right here. Okay, so you should feel like kind of on the side and the back of your hips. And we're just gonna move it, okay? We want that ball and socket joint to stay nice and mobile. So we're not really gonna hold this stretch. If this feels too easy, you can lift that foot with it. So you can go here and pull your foot up a little higher. Keep it moving. So just imagine the head of your femur, which is the big bone in your leg, rolling around in the socket as you do this. And that's the goal. Let's do a few more. Your hips should feel really good after this, especially if you've been sitting all day. And then other side, same thing. So cross it over. You might notice it's not as easy on one side. And same thing. For me, it's a lot easier to get this knee up higher. So I'm just moving my knee up, trying to get head of the femur and the big bone in your leg to roll around. It's a ball and socket joint. So you can imagine that ball rolling around in the socket. Again, if you can, this is too easy, go ahead and lift your foot up with it. So lift your foot off of your knee as you do this one. You get a little bit extra motion. All right. So that's the, oh wait, we have one more leg exercise, one more leg stretch to do. So the last one I want you guys to do is with hands under the knee. So it doesn't matter which knee you start with. I'm going to put my hands, I'm crossing my finger, or interlace my fingers. You don't have to do that. You can just place your hands under your knee, whichever way is comfortable. Lift it for me and hold. You might feel a little bit of a pinching. That's okay. Relax a little bit. If you feel too much pinching, bring it down. But a little bit of a pinch is actually sometimes, it's pretty normal here. It's not a bad thing. From here, if you feel pretty good, try to extend your foot. That should stretch you out really well. If you can't extend the leg, you can take a belt or a strap under your foot and you can pull it up. So I'll act like I have that. So I can pull my leg up from that position. Still trying to keep my knee up here using the strap, which is invisible, and then push it back out. And we're gonna switch sides. So same thing, we'll pull it up for about 15 seconds here, bring it high. So I have my hands under my knee. Just bring it up as high as you can. You can use the rest of the armchairs or the armrests to help you with this one. You shouldn't have a lot of tension in your body. We're trying to stretch. So we're trying to relax. And then You can give me whatever you got extension there. If you happen to have a belt or a strap near you, start pushing that leg forward. And we're about to get into the workout here. Okay, so if you have water, now's a good time to make sure you have it near you, which is a. So all we're gonna need for this really is your body weight. If you have a dumbbell, that's awesome. We can add that into a couple of these exercises. It's not essential though. So we're gonna go together for this first round. We're gonna do everything on a 1 minute timer. So it's 8 exercises. Everything's gonna last 1 minute, all right? And so we're gonna go slowly. This first round is gonna go easily. We'll have a little bit more time between each exercise to explain things and talk about things, but we're gonna keep moving the whole time. Oh. There we go. All right, so the first one, we're doing overhead reach. There's 2 ways to do this. So I'll have Sadie do the, I keep wanting to call you Sydney. I'm really sorry. If I do that in a video, if I do that video, you guys can text it to me. All right, you can correct me through the chat. All right, the hardest version here is with weights. So if you have weights, feel free to use them, but I want you to make sure you're keeping your elbow underneath of your wrist as much as you can. You don't have to go all the way up for this whole time, but you're trying to keep that vertical. And if you can only do one at a time, that's fine. This is the next level down. So for 1 minute, we're moving up and down. It doesn't have to be fast, all right, but you've got to keep your form. Again, for 1 minute here. 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna do it one hand at a time. I'll break it down. I might get up and go take a drink or something. I'll say he's doing the work. So if you need to rest your arm between each one, that's fine. As long as you're trying to get your arm overhead, and again, you're trying, I'll turn to the side here, you're trying to keep your forearm vertical. So if you catch yourself doing this, this is common, kind of like a chicken wing. Try to correct that by pulling your elbow underneath. You scoop it under and keep it scooped under as you raise, one at a time or both. But we're already halfway through. So you might be getting a little bit of a burn here, which is good because it's going to go into the next motion, or it's going to coincide with the next movement pretty well. So keep reaching. Just about 10 more seconds, everybody. Looking good. I see a few people on camera doing it right now, including myself. And relax. Nice. So that was the first one. The next one are arm circles. This can get really hard really quickly. Okay, so the hardest version is going to be with your palms forward or making a fist. Doesn't matter how you want to put your arms out there, but you're circling. So small, I'll face towards the camera here. A very small circle, small and controlled, maybe about 1 foot, 2 feet around. And you're going to try to go the whole time. If that's too difficult, just bring your elbows in. You're still doing it right here. Still doing the same exact thing, but we're targeting mostly our deltoids right now. So while we're going for that full minute, we're trying to circle this way. If it gets to be hard, circle back the other way. See if you can keep going. If you absolutely need a break, take it, but try to get right back into the exercise as soon as you're ready. All right, 3, 2, 1. Arm circles. As I pull up my timer, someone texted me and said they couldn't get the Zoom link to work. No. Again, if this is too hard, bring the wrists in. Keep moving. And if it starts to really burn, go back the other direction. It's not really much of a rest, but you're firing the same muscles in a different sequence. So you might find that you can go a little bit longer. Looking good. We have about 20 seconds to go. Trying to move around. I don't know how far away I need to be. There we go. So again, if you're looking at my hands on the camera, it's not a big circle. It's not a huge circle there. And 5 more seconds. I'm really feeling the burn now. So try to keep moving. And done. Okay. That was the second exercise on the list. So again, we have 8 of these. The last one for our arms is going to be a wheelchair push-up or a kind of a knee push-off. And that's going to look like this. If you can put your hands on the armrest of your chair or on the seat is I recommend the seat because it's going to be a little bit easier. But starting here and just trying to push yourself up and out of the chair. You don't have to come all the way out of the chair to do this. If you can feel your arms straighten out and you can feel those muscles firing, you're doing it. You're exercising them. All right. Now, if that's too easy for you, you can go up to what Sadie's doing. You have the armrest there, and you can push yourself all the way out of the seat. That would be ideal. All right. The other version of this to make it even a little more manageable for some people is to bring your chest towards your knees, hands are on the knees, and push off your knees. Don't lift yourself up with your back. Push your knees away, and you will still be working your triceps here. All right. Push yourself off your knees. We're going to go for 1 full minute on this one. All right. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to vary between them. Sadie, you can do the same. I'm going to start with the easiest, and I'm going to progress through them. So you see me right here. As you do these, if you're not sure where your elbows should be, try to tuck them to your sides. If you feel like you're doing a chicken wing or a chicken dance, you're not going to get as much activation of your triceps as you want. So keep the elbows tight to your side and think about pushing your palms away. Now, if you're doing it on the chair or the armrest, same thing. If you see Sadie over there, I'll do it from the side here. I'm not letting my elbows flare out to the side too much. I'm keeping them tight to me. And I'm just trying to push my palms down. They run into that surface, and it pushes me up. Trying to keep moving. If you catch yourself shrugging like this, you probably lost a little bit of the form. So you want to push your shoulders down. Keep your shoulders down as you go through. We got 5 more seconds. You guys are doing great. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. That's the third one, the last one for the arms. The next one involves the arms, but it shouldn't be too much of a workout for them. So the next one, you were in my call last week. You saw this. You saw me sweating doing this. We're doing a wood chop. We're doing a kind of a figure 8 shape with it. I like to put my hands like this. You can interlace your fingers. You can cross or put your hands on your shoulders, whatever works for you. You do not have to do this with your arms all the way out. And the whole goal of this is just really to move your torso. So don't focus too much on your arms. Focus on what your chest and your torso are doing here. So again, I'm going to start here. Let's get to my chest and torso turned off the side of one leg. All you're doing is lifting up and across. Then you're going to drop it down the other side of the leg. Up and across. So it's kind of like I'm drawing an X, starting at the bottom of the X on each of these. So again, I'm going up and across, dropping down, up and across. And the last thing I'll say about this before we get started is that it helps to have your back away from the seat of the chair. If you're using the chair too much, you won't be firing as many muscles as you can. All right. So if you can sit forward in the chair a little bit, it'll help you burn a few more calories here. All right. 3, 2, 1. Start on one side, up and across. Again, I'll change the level or the scale of this exercise throughout it. So up and across. If you've ever used a cable machine in the gym, or if you've ever been in the gym by a cable machine, you've probably seen someone do this. Super common exercise, but really, really effective for anyone who's not even in a wheelchair, anyone who's seated all day. Keeping your core tight. You see me change positions. And moving your rib cage while still keeping posture in your low back is difficult. So you get a lot out of this if you spend a lot of time in a chair. Keep turning. Now, again, if you find yourself only moving your arms, try to reset a little bit and turn your chest with everything you're doing. All the way up and across, and done. Nice. All right, that was a full minute. Next one's a little harder. This one can be very difficult, in fact, if you don't position yourself right. So what I'd like everyone to do, if you're in a power chair, try to lean it back just a little bit, just a few degrees. Try to get the back of the seat away from you, just enough that you have to lean forward to sit up. Okay, we're doing this like on a bicycle. All right, so here, we're taking our opposite shoulder to the opposite knee, and if you can, I want you to lift that knee to your shoulder. You don't have to, but that's going to be the motion here. We're going to try to get this shoulder here towards the opposite knee. Other side, same thing. All right, that's the goal. And you can put your hands wherever they're comfortable. This tends to be a very comfortable position for a lot of people. So doing it like this, where you can kind of see my elbows are hitting my knees, that works just fine. We're going to do that for a full minute. Now, if you wanted to progress this where you're on the ground, you can also do this laying down. We're not going to do that yet. Maybe on the next round, we can break it down. But in 3, 2, 1, bicycles for the full minute. So we're going across, lifting the knee, across, trying to move everything. And you can kick up the speed a little bit. If you feel confident, you can really get a twist going and try to tap. And you don't have to be lifting your knees to do that right either. But if you're not lifting the legs, try to come all the way back up on each of these. So you're coming all the way across, all the way across. All right, there's a lot of ways to go about it. Hands can be up, reaching for that knee. Whatever works for you, just keep moving. We're halfway through. Keep trying to get a twist towards the knee. And I'll do this now with a lift. Nice thing is if you lift your knee, you don't have to bend down as far. But you definitely work a few more muscles. A few more seconds. Try not to let your chin get stuck on your chest as you do these either. You want to keep your chin up. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. And then we have knee raises next. So knee raises and assisted knee raises, both are good. So now I mentioned this earlier. If you don't have movement of your legs, that's totally fine. You can assist that with your arms. You can assist 100% with your arms. An exercise doesn't mean that you're firing a muscle. It means that you're moving. So right here, I'm going to scoot forward in the chair a little just so I can demonstrate a little better. Actually, I'll face this way too. So Sadie, actually, if you don't mind, so you can start doing knee raises. This is what a regular knee raise would look like. And then if you're scaling it and you need help, you can put your hand under your knee or in front, and you can pull and then just switch sides and pull. So this is the other version. And again, you're still moving that joint. You're still moving the leg. And that movement is extremely beneficial for all the tissue that's involved. Especially if you are seated all the time. You want everything moving. So this is the easier version. And the harder version. If you want to pick up the speed, what you can do is either take your elbows into the armrest, and you can keep going the way you're doing it. You can dig your elbows into the armrest here, or use your hands on the seat, whatever is comfortable, and push down, and that should let you move a little faster. Just because now you're taking pressure off your hips, so it should be a little bit easier to go quickly on this one. Lost the timer there. We're going to call it here in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Leg extensions, or if you have a strap, that's the next one. So very similar to what we just did. If you have a gait belt or you have a strap at home, if you have it near you, ideally now's the time to grab it. I'll break down what we're going to do, but you're going to put it under the bottom of your shoe, and all you're doing is lifting your leg up. Now, if you can straighten your leg out without a strap, that's awesome. I want you guys doing this here. You can also support your leg at the same time. You can grab under your knee and kick it out just like this, all right? At the top, what we're trying to do is nice, strong contraction of your quadriceps. So, your quadriceps are those big muscles on the top of your thigh. We're going to just, 1 minute. Ready? 3, 2, 1. You're going to kick one leg out and alternate sides. So again, my knees are popping over here as I ran last night. My hamstrings are killing me. So keep trying to extend one leg after the other. And at the top, you don't want to just kick it up and bring it down. You want to kick it up, hold it for a second, and then bring it down. If you can feel your knee lock out, that's really good. Again, you don't have to be firing the muscles to do that. If you have a strap to pull your leg up, you can pull it up to a locked out position. So that's awesome. That'll also keep your hamstrings nice and mobile. So just keep moving the whole time. We got 20 more seconds to go. So far, it doesn't sound like we have any questions on it. Almost there and done. Okay. Last exercise in the circuit. Then we're going to go through more quickly, and that's when we'll start seeing, like, people will start sweating. We'll get more of a calorie burn. The last minute is a knee in and out. So I think it's really helpful to brace on the chair. You don't have to. You can lean back. You can position yourself wherever you want. Your knees have to move, though. So if you need to use your hands to help you with this, that's fine. Your job is to get your knees up and over, kind of making a big M. Think of like McDonald's golden arches, and bring it back in the center. So up and over and back together. Or bracing the chair and back together. We're doing that one for 1 full minute. In 3, 2, 1, and go. So in, out. 1 full minute. In, out. Either pushing down on the seat, arm rests, or grabbing your knees and lifting them and assisting them in moving up and down. Whatever works for you is fine with me, as long as you try to keep moving for as long as you can during that minute, or for as much as you can during that minute. So try and bring those knees a little higher now that we're warmed up. See if you can bring those feet further apart, all the way back together. About 30 more seconds. Anyone at home is working out with music, probably seems a little more sane to you. It's kind of awkward working out silently. That's just how I've been for you. I've never been in a gym where they weren't playing music. 5 more seconds. And done. All right, so that is the full circuit. All 8 of those exercises. I'll break them down again as we go through it a little more, but we're also gonna go a lot faster. So again, we're starting with overhead reaches. We're moving into arm circles. From there, we have our wheelchair push-ups or our knee push-offs. We have our figure 8 wood chop, going up and across. From there, we have our wheelchair bicycle, and that's the one where you're going across the opposite knee. And then we have our knee raises. So trying to pull it up or assisting in the pull. We have leg extensions. So trying to get this up or using a strap to lift it up. And the last one of those knees in and outs or knee in and outs that we just did. All right. So now is the perfect time to get a drink because for about 8 minutes, we're going to try to go the whole time. If you have to stop during that, that's totally fine. It does not matter. But I want you to try to jump back in as soon as you feel ready. Try not to take too much time off. So each of these is going to go for 1 minute. And I'll start over here on the side so you guys can see my form a little bit. 1 minute of overhead reaches. So we're going to start in this position here. On 3, 2, 1, go. So start moving. I'm going to do one hand at a time. You're trying to get your elbow under your wrist. Trying to push towards the ceiling as high as you can. You don't have to get your arm straight. The higher it goes, the better. If you need to take a quick breather, that's okay. You might not need it right now. Towards the end of the 8 minutes, you probably will. So keep reaching. You guys can make it through this full 8 minutes. You'll have made it through the hardest part of the workout by a long shot. Hardest part by a long shot on this one. So 20 more seconds here. Keep reaching. Keep going for the ceiling. Again, you see my back is off the chair. That really helps develop your core. Keep everything strong. Everything that supports your spine is working in this position. You have 5 more seconds so you can get a few more reaches in. 3, 2, 1. All right, arm circles. So right away, 1 minute. Our timer's going. So arm circles. I'm going to go forward for a moment here. I'm going to kind of awkwardly face Sadie. It might look like on there we have like a split. We're actually seated like this.
I'm burning. I'm definitely burning.
You feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, and so like Sadie says, if you're feeling it, you can bend those elbows. You can bring those arms into this position and keep going. It doesn't take pressure off your deltoid, but it does reduce it. So you don't lose all that work that you just put in. Keep going. 20 more seconds. Keep going. If you guys are watching the recording of this, please play music to it.
Yeah, take your mind off.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Wheelchair push-ups. All right. So using the seat, using the armrest, or using your knees. 1 minute on the clock. So I'm going to start in this position here. You'll see me from the side. Try to go the whole time, getting a good activation of your triceps. So if you feel this in the back of your arm, you're doing it well. Your hands don't have to grip anything or grasp anything. You're just pushing away. And again, I mentioned this earlier, try to keep your elbows by your sides. If you're not sure where your elbows should be, or if you're not sure if you're doing it right, as long as you feel your arms close to your sides, there's a really good chance you're doing this exactly the way you should be doing it. The main question I get as a trainer is people just don't know what they're doing if they're doing it right. As long as you find the right position, you'll typically do it correctly. All right, a few more seconds. Almost to the end. When I said a few, I meant 15. 3, 2, 1. All right, looking good. Next one, we got figure 8 wood chops. So starting right there, when you're ready, drop one arm to your side, or both arms to your side, that is, and lift up and over. And again, you can do this with your arms crossed. You're just trying to move your torso. So get your chest over to one side, lift it up and across. Think of making a big X shape. So if I face this way, exact same thing. Towards you guys, same exact thing. Just dropping my chest over towards one side, lifting up. Chest to one side, lift up. Keep going the whole time. 25 more seconds to go, that is. All right, now I'm starting to feel this in my core a little bit. Last 5 seconds. And done. Nice, okay. From there, we have our wheelchair bicycles. Oh, I should have turned the timer off. You guys got an extra break in 3, 2, 1. So again, whatever position you want to be in, you can cross the arms, rest them here. If you can't move the legs, that's fine. You can still do this as long as you're making that a full range of motion exercise. You want to go all the way back. That's what I mean. So the range of motion goes from the back of the chair to your knee. Keep going the whole time. If you have to stop, like I said, to breathe or get a drink, that is 100% okay. Try to get back in as soon as you're done. 20 seconds to go on this one. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and done. Next one, we have our knee raises. So you can start moving here, pushing up, either bracing on the chair, the seat, or the armrest, the elbows or the hands, or alternating. Again, we're still alternating as we do these, lifting with your hands. So again, you can go underneath of your knee, you can go in front of it, you can do whatever you like, as long as you're moving as much as you can throughout this full minute. We're already 25 seconds into it. If you're in Arizona and you're not sweating yet, you can open a window. And you can pay $20 to cool your house back down on the AC bill. 15 seconds to go. Keep moving, just keep moving. If you notice, I haven't let my chin fall to my chest either. I'm not starting to hunch. The common thing people do is they get tired, they let their chin fall. 3, 2, 1. All right, and then we have leg extension. So either using a strap or if you can, brace here and extend. If you feel good with that, you can just push against the chair. I'm still trying to get full activation of the quadriceps. So if you feel like there's not a lot of tension there, hold it for a longer second there. Hold it for just a split second longer, I should say. Just keep that leg out. Feel that joint lock. I'm kind of pushing my heel forward as I do this. So if you can see the bottom of my shoe, it means I'm doing it correctly. Oh, wrong way. Going away from the camera, obviously the wrong way. So pushing towards the heel forward, toes towards the ceiling. Lost the timer on this one. This is the second time I did that. This one. Let's go for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, and then knees in and out. Up and apart. Now, if you can go really fast, you can tap your toes, you can kick the whole time, that's awesome. This will feel kind of like doing jumping jacks. If you need your hands to assist, that's okay too. After we get into it for about 30 seconds, you're gonna want to start making it a bigger motion. So lift the knees, pull apart. Lift the knees, bring them together. Brace in the chair, pull apart, back together. Brace with the armrest, whatever works. If you can only move the knees apart and back, that's okay. Lifting a little bit definitely helps make it an easier exercise though. So you see what I'm doing here, I'm kind of bringing them or just sliding them together. That's still the exercise. That still counts, but helps to get it up a little bit. Definitely helps be able to push down and lift your legs as you do this. 15 more seconds. Again, this is the last exercise, so try to get through the whole thing here. You are almost done. Sadie's been going like full pace the whole time. 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice. All right. So going back through our posture and breathing for our cool down. So take a second here. Really try to fully exhale. This is something I talk to people about a lot. It's after the exercise or after you do anything that really builds up a lot of tension in your body or causes you to exert a lot of effort. You want to fully exhale. All right, you're getting bad chemicals, basically, metabolic waste out of your bloodstream by doing that. So breathe in, push extra air out if you can. And then we'll go back to that breathing technique we did at the beginning. So I'm feeling kind of the bottom of my rib cage here, up by the clavicle, and trying to lift and let it out. You'll notice you can slow your breathing down way ahead of slowing your heart rate down. And that will help bring your heart rate back down as well. You should start to notice as you do this, if you're still tight anywhere or tense, it starts to melt away. A few more breaths. Okay, so we're gonna finish up with those stretches as well, and then we'll absolutely be done with those YWTLs. So the last thing we're gonna do here is bring the arm across, just like we started with. So we moved our arms around a lot today. You might notice now that you can go a little further. All right, that's really normal. All right, so after we develop a little bit of pliability in our muscles, it's just a little bit easier to move everything. Try to bring it a little bit further. Again, if you feel any pinching or discomfort, that doesn't seem normal. Stretching is a little uncomfortable, but abnormal, bring it down a notch. You shouldn't be pulling yourself or going through pain to do this one. And then other side when you're ready. So you're gonna bring it across, try to tap your shoulder, reach across that side. Just hold it there. And while you're stretching, get yourself holding your breath, you'll notice you stay tight. So try to relax your breathing as well. All right, the next one, arm over the head. Try to pull behind the elbow if you can. If you absolutely can't do that, that's okay. Remember, we're still just trying to reach for our spine here and stretch this. The higher you can get this bone, the better. So lift it up as much as you can. Pull it back if you got that too. My right shoulder is definitely less flexible than my left. If you're right-handed, you'll notice that in some directions and less in others. Or say on your dominant hand, you'll notice that. And the other side, same thing. Reach up, try to reach for your spine. You can assist and push it back, that's good. It's best to try to reach over and pull it back. You get the stretch on the back of your arm, kind of the back of the armpit, and maybe even a little bit down the side portions of your back. All right, and then we'll go right on to our spinal stretches. So starting here, reach across, and just twist with this one. After all that core work, it might feel actually harder to do this. It might be a little tight at first. But again, as you breathe out, and relax, it should get a little easier and you should be able to go further. Again, I'm not trying to turn your head super far away. You're just trying to turn your chest. So I can still look back over my left shoulder. It doesn't help to stretch too much to do that, but cranking my head around doesn't help it either. And then other way, same thing. So hand across, twist, find where you can comfortably hold the position the whole time. And again, depending on how much head motion you use, Notice you can get a little bit further, but it's not going to help to just crank your neck around. And again, you make sure you try to breathe out as you're doing this. You should be able to go a little bit further. All right, next one. This is for our thoracic spine. Try to cross your arms here. Reach up. And get back as far as you can. Again, if you start to get dizzy, just bring your head forward. You can rest your forehead on your forearms here. You should still be able to get a good amount of movement without having to move your lumbar spine. A couple more seconds. And relax. All right, almost done. Bring one leg up over. Up and over, that is. Hold it there on the opposite knee, and let's move that joint around in the socket a little bit more, and kind of try to make circular motions with it this time. Bring it up at an angle, pulling across. You can move that whole leg. That's even better if you can lift that leg all the way up. We have a volunteer here at Ability 360 named Hasey. Kid can put his legs way behind his head. It's crazy. Hasey, if you're out there watching this right now, tune in. Show us. We'll feature you.
Guest appearance.
Yeah. All right. Other side, same thing. So again, we're just trying to move head of the femur. Imagine a ball and socket joint. It's the big bone of your upper leg. Roll it around in that joint. Doesn't matter. You can use it on your own or not. It's still good to move it around. This is really only contraindicated if you just had a hip replacement. Otherwise, this is good for everybody. Okay. Let's do those YWTLs and we'll finish it off. So I'm going to face this way. Sadie's going to face towards you guys. Make that Y shape and pinch your shoulder blades together. So once you're up, don't just leave them in front of you. Pull them back. Hold it there. Feel the muscles that keep your posture upright around your spine working, and then bring it down to a W. You might feel different ones working a little lower, and that's correct. So staying right there. Then reach out to a T shape, so palms are up. And you should be able to pull back a little further on this one. And lastly, down to an L, so your elbows come to your sides. And you should shove those shoulders down or those elbows down as you do this. All right, then again, overhead, last round, way up, pull back, down to a W, out to a T, good, down to an L, and that's it for the day. All right. If there aren't any questions in the chat right now, I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys again for joining me. Again, this is an awesome thing to do with Ability 360 and Move United. I'm really happy to be here. I'll be back on next Wednesday. Our next class, Christian, when is it Luke on Friday? So on Friday, that's is that 2 o'clock as well? Okay, so same time on Friday, Luke Rumbert from the gym here. If I pronounce your last name wrong, whatever, Luke, I don't. We'll see you guys on Friday, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at spencer.hind@gmail.com. I think it should be in the chat at some point. And I hope to hear from you soon. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.